Hey media students, in this video I'll show you how to make the teeth for your sugar skull. So we're going to use the circle tool and we're going to draw a circle, more like an oval. Then we're going to use the white arrow tool and we're going to zoom in and we're going to drag the top of this circle in a little bit so that we get kind of a flat bottom for our tooth. And let's drag the top up just a little bit to shape this more like a tooth. So now that we have a tooth, let's hold down Alt on our keyboard and use the black arrow tool to drag a copy of it right next to it. Now we could do this again, or we could just press Control D and Control D. So now we got 4 teeth. This will be our front tooth. So this tooth needs to be a little smaller. So let's click on it with the black arrow tool and scale it down just a little bit. And actually, I'm going to undo that. It works better if we do it from the top corner. So let's scale it down a little bit like that. And then let's go to the third tooth and press Control D to scale that down, and Control D one more time. And let's Control D and Control D. So we're using that duplicate transformation to make these teeth smaller. So we got 2 small ones, a medium-sized one, and a big one. Use the black arrow tool here to kind of get them all lined up like this. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. And now we need to reflect them so we have on the side of teeth on the left. So we're going to highlight these, Object, Transform, Reflect. We're going to reflect it vertically like this. So you can kind of see the difference here. So we're kind of just changing the order. But instead of clicking OK, we're going to click Copy. And we're going to move these to this side right here. So we have a whole set of teeth. Let's do the same thing. Highlight all of them, Object, Transform, Reflect, and let's do that with the bottom. So let's horizontally rotate them for a bottom set of teeth. Make sure you click Copy and drag these down like this. Now you might want just a small gap between the upper and lower like this. And what you're going to do now is you're going to highlight everything, and we want to put a black outline around this whole thing. So we're going to go to Object, Path, and then click Offset Path. Here, click Preview. Here, make sure you put in a number that gives you a nice big outline around these teeth. So I'm going to do something like, 9 here. We're going to click OK. And now my white outlines are selected. So I'm going to change those to black. And I'm going to drag them up here so that they're by themselves. Just to make sure, I'm going to add them all together. Add. I have a tiny, tiny, tiny gap right in the middle there, so I'm going to use the circle tool here and cover that up and add those together again. Like this. All right, so now what we want to do here is we want to align these teeth together. So I'd highlight this, make sure this is a group, so Object, Group. And now I would highlight all of this. I want to align them to each other, so I'm going to choose Selection, horizontally and vertically. And my black is in front of the white teeth, so I'm going to right-click, Arrange, send it to the back. Now, this is okay. This is kind of like a straight line, so we're going to highlight this. We're going to go to Object, Envelope, Distort, and Make with a Warp. We want to make sure we choose an arch, like this, and you can choose the bend to make your skeleton smile. So we'll click OK. Now this is like using an effect. It doesn't reflect our paths anymore. So let's click on this once so it's selected. Go to Object, Expand, and click OK. Now when we have this, it should be a group. I can zoom out. I can move this into place right here. And it's actually centering it right there. So I can hold down Alt and Shift to make this bigger or smaller. And if I like it, that's fine. To make sure it's in the right spot, I can click on it, make sure you're aligning to the artboard, and center it. So that's how we can make our sugar skull mouth.